Trigonometry, the cosine ratio. Same as we looked at the sine ratio last time, today we're looking at the cosine ratio. And again, it only works with right-angled triangles. A lot of what you see in this video will be very similar to what you saw in the last video. The only difference is which ratio we are using. So let's have a look at the ratio. The cosine we just write as cos, and we use theta again to denote our angle. And this time that is equal to A over H, so the adjacent side over the hypotenuse. So if you remember our right angled triangle, we have the angle theta, we have our hypotenuse, which we label first, that is opposite our right angle, we have our opposite side, which is opposite theta, and then our adjacent side, which is next to theta. Okay, so cos theta is A over H, and again, if you want to use the formula triangle, we can have cos theta is A over H. So let's have a look at an example. The first thing I'm going to do, just so we've got it there, is to write down the 5 steps that we had previously. So number 1, label the sides. Number 2, we wrote out the equation. Write equation. Number 3, we would substitute. 4, we calculate. And 5, we check our answer. So let's look at an example. And we're going to have right angled triangle as per usual. An angle here of 60 degrees. This side is going to be 5 and this one x. We want to find out the value of x. So step 1, label the sides. That should be plural sides. There we go. So we start off hypotenuse. Now normally we would label the opposite side next, but we haven't got anything on the opposite side. We're not asked to find it and we're not told what the length is. So we're going to ignore the opposite side. This is adjacent side because it is next to the angle. And that is our labeling the sides done. Now we write out the equation. So we want to find out what A is. So if you're using your formula triangle, put your finger over A, see what is left. That is H times Y cos theta. Notice again I'm writing the H in front of the cos theta just because it makes it easier when you put it into the calculator. Remember, if we're doing multiplication, let's say 2 times by 3 is the same as 3 times by 2. Doesn't matter which order we're doing things in. Okay, so we have written down the equation. Tick. Now we need to substitute. So x is equal to 5 times y cos 60. So I haven't worked anything out at this point. I'm just changing the value. So where it says A, I've changed that to an x. Where it's hypotenuse, I've changed that to 5, and so on. Tick. Now we calculate. So grab your calculator and type in 5 times y cos 60. Hopefully that will give you an answer of 2.5 or 2.5. Tick. Now we've got to check our answer. Does it make sense? So our hypotenuse is always the longest side of our triangle. Here, the hypotenuse is 5. So it makes sense that our adjacent side is going to be smaller than this. So 2.5 is smaller. So I would say that sounds good. Okay, second example. We are now going to try and work out the length x here. Okay, so label the sides. We've got our hypotenuse and our adjacent side. So first one is done. Then we need to write the equation. We want to find h, so that is going to be h equals a over cos theta, or a divided by cos theta. So that is that one done. Now we need to substitute, so x is equal to 7 over cos 40. Substitution is done. Now we need to calculate. So get your calculator out. 7 over cos of 40 is going to give us an answer of 9.14. I'm going to round it to 2 decimal places. And we'll notice here that units, we've got a length of meters. So we need to make sure our units are there as well. So we've calculated. Let's check our answer. Again, this side here, our adjacent side, is 7 meters. Our hypotenuse is going to be longer than that. So 9 makes sense. It's in the right ballpark. 9, I would say, is correct. Check our answer. Okay, and final example. We are going to have an angle theta this side this time, 14 and 28. So, we want to work out the angle theta. Now, using these steps, it doesn't matter what we're working out. We follow the same 5 steps. So, label the sides first, hypotenuse and adjacent side. Then we write out the equation. So this time we've got cos theta equals A over H. Then we substitute. So cos theta is 14 over 28. We need to calculate. So theta is the inverse cos. So remember when we were working with sine, we would use the inverse function or arc cos. And then you can put that into your calculator. So 14 over 28, which gives you an angle 60 degrees. Check your answer. Does that make sense? Well, we've got a right angle here and an angle 60. So if we add those up, 60 plus 90 gives us 150. That gives us enough room for the third angle to make it up to 180 degrees. If for some reason 2 angles in our triangle were over 180, something's gone wrong. Okay, here are a few questions to have a go at. So pause the video here, work your way through them. Then when you are done, replay the video and I will put the answers on. Okay, and here are the answers. So for number 1, we got 10.29. Question 2, 33.14. Question 3, 6.47. Question 4 is 60 degrees. Question 5, 53.66 degrees. And question 6, 48.19. I hope you found this useful. Thank you for watching.